Alright, so it's a functions question. So fx equals blah blah, hx is fog, so we've got composite function. So I'm going to ignore their instructions for now, and I'm just going to focus on substituting g into f. Oh, because g is the closest, that's the one that goes into this one here. So fx is 6x y minus x squared. Anywhere that we see an x, we're going to write cos x. So that fogx would be 6 cos x, 1 minus cos x squared. Now the hope here is that you recognize that 1 minus cos squared from here so if we rearranged cos squared plus sine squared as 1, then 1 minus cos squared would be sine squared. So therefore this becomes 6 cos x square root of sine squared x. Sorry, sine squared. Oh yes, it is x. Sorry, x. Obviously the square root of sine squared would just be sine. So we've got 6 cos x sine x. Now going back to this. Oops. Now they want it in the form a sine bx. Okay, so comparing this to this, we can see that 2 sine theta cos theta is sine 2 theta. So if we change this to be 3 lots of 2 cos x sine x, then that would be 3 lots of sine 2x. And therefore we have completed that question, or that part of the question. Hence, find the range of h. Remember, the range of h indicates the values that y could take. Because this is a 3, it means that the range is between -3 and 3, because that indicates the amplitude. And we know that sine curves go up and down, and this is twice the amplitude, so between -3 and 3. Okay, so we're on to section B. I have to stress here, and some of you really didn't read any the instructions. It says answer all questions in the answer booklet. Now, I appreciate you didn't have an answer booklet, but you must answer the questions in a separate book. Do not write on this paper here, because they will not read it. And it also says, please start each question on a new page. Again, something that many of you didn't do. So please read the instructions, because if you write in the answer booklet, the examiner will not read it and not mark it. Okay? So, in a class of 21 students, 12 own laptop, 10 own tablet, 3 own neither. So we've got laptop, tablet. Okay, so we've got a total of 21 students. So write down the value of P. 3 own neither, so that indicates that's 3. Obviously, I'm writing on here, but you're not to. Find the value of Q. We know that it's easiest here to probably set up an A, B, C situation. If there are 21 students in total, we know that A plus B plus C has to equal 18, because we've taken off these 3 people here. 12 people own a laptop, so A and B is equal to 12. Now if we substitute that in up here, 12 plus C is 18, which means that C must be 6. We also know that 10 own a tablet, so B plus C is 10, which means we know that C is 6, so B plus 6 equals 10, which means B is 4, which means that because A plus B is 12, if B is 4, then A must be 8. Just do a final check that 6, 4, 8, and 3 add up to 21. They do. Okay. So there's actually all of these answers here. So a student is selected at random from the class. Write down the probability that they own a laptop. Well, in the whole class, because we're talking about a whole class, sorry, our denominator will be 21. How many of them own a laptop? That was 12. Find the probability that this student owns a laptop or a tablet, but not both. Okay, so looking at the Venn diagram, that would be a laptop or a tablet, but not both. So we're going to do 8 plus 6 is 14, and again the denominator is 21 because we're talking about the class. Two students are randomly selected from the class. Let L be the student owns a laptop. Copy and complete the following diagram. So if this is 9 out of 21, here our denominator will be 21, and our numerators we now have to add to give 21, so that would be 12. Because we've gone on to the second student, note that the denominator is now reduced to 20 because we're not talking about 21 students anymore, we've taken one out. That also has meant that the numerator went down from 12 to 11, but the number that not a laptop remained at 9 because that's not the branch we followed. So, because these two denominators are 20, we know that these two denominators will also be 20. Following the similar situation, if that reduced from 12 to 11, this one will reduce from 9 to 8, and again our numerators need to add up to give 20, so that would be 12. Write down the probability that the second student owns a laptop given that the first owns the laptop. This was actually quite a straightforward one. We're talking about the probability about the second student, but the first one had to have a laptop. So we can only be looking at this section here because the first student had to have owned a laptop. What's the probability that the second student owned a laptop? Well, that's simply 11.